What's up, Geeksters? It's me, Omar from Geekster Labs, and today I have a case roundup review for all of Nomad's cases available for the iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max. So these are all the cases that they have on their site. I'm going to show you every single one of them in close-up details. I'm a big fan of Nomad. I've been using their products for a very long time. I use their Apple Watch strap on my Apple Watch. I use their case on my AirPod case, and the case that I had on my 13 Pro before I upgraded to the 14 Pro was the Nomad case. So I'm a big fan of the products. They make really good quality products. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys some close-up details of all these cases. So let's get to it right now. Alright, so the first case we're going to look at is the Sport case. And so this is one of the newer cases from Nomad. This is not a leather case. This is a TPU style bumper case. And so this one retails for $39.95, so it's the least expensive of all the four cases I'm going to be showing you. I'll show them in order of price, so this is the cheapest one. $39.95. It comes available in black, lunar gray, which is very similar to my Nomad watch sport band right here, marine blue, or ash green. So this is the ash green version I'm going to show you. I think it looks more like grayish than I think it looks like green, but I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. And I also have an ash green version in the rugged case, which I also think looks a little gray, but either way, that's neither here or there. So let's check out the case itself. Alright, so here's the Sport case on my iPhone 14 Pro, and this is the ash green. So like I said, it kind of looks greenish, but I think it looks more like gray. Either way, I like it. It looks really sharp, really nice. Has this really high gloss finish to the back of the case. This does feature 6-foot drop protection, so it is going to protect your phone if it drops it from about 6 feet up, that's pretty good. And so even though it does have this high gloss finish, they do have some fingerprints and scratch proof resistance coating on here, so it actually doesn't really show too many of your fingerprints when you put it on it, unless you have like really oily, dirty hands. They don't show up too much. You can kind of see them there a little bit, but you could easily just wipe that off really quickly. When it comes to scratches and stuff, they have some kind of coating on here that kind of does a really good job of protecting, which that's usually the biggest issue with high gloss cases, is they either look gross with all the oils from your skin on them, or they get scratched up super easy. So let me give you guys some close-up details and show you all the buttons and ports. Alright, we get to the side of the case. We have a nice large opening for the mute switch. Volume up and down buttons are being protected, and they have actual metal button covers here. So I really like that. It's a really nice touch that they have. So like you can actually feel the click really nicely when you click on that. Nice smooth finish on the side. Like I said, this is a TPU style bumper. We get to the bottom of the case. We have a nice large opening for the lightning cable. We have the speaker and the microphone ports. Nice large openings for that. So you shouldn't have any issues using the larger lightning cables, but that are a little bit larger than the Apple ones that came with your iPhone. Get to the other side of the case, we have the sleep wake button, which is also a metal button, and then we have some little small Nomad branding right there. And then we get to the back of the case, and then we have the camera opening. So as you can see, super high gloss finish on the back right there. The camera slot right there is lifted and raised, so it's going to do a good job protecting those cameras, because as you guys know, if you have the iPhone 14 Pro, those cameras stick out a lot from the back of the phone. But this case will do a good job of protecting it and making sure if you were to drop it on its back, that those cameras, those lenses should be a little bit lower than the lip of the case right there. So that should do a good job of protecting it. And we get to the front, and this case does have a slight lip. Let me see if you notice right here on the edge where my finger is at. So it's raised a little bit, so if it is face down on a table, it's technically not touching the glass of your iPhone. And like all of these cases, it is MagSafe compatible. So as you can see, there we go. It will charge up with the MagSafe, and the MagSafe does stick to the back. I have my little Nomad cover on my MagSafe there. So all these cases I'll be showing you guys, and I'll prove it with you. I'll show it with all the cases, but they all work with the MagSafe. So this is the Sport case, $39.95 in the ash gray. Really nice, good, affordable case. Let's get to the next one. Alright, second case we're going to look at is the rugged case. So this is one of their newer cases from Nomad. Not a leather case, it's a TPU plastic style case, but this is definitely going to have more drop protection. After all, it's called the rugged case, that makes sense, right? This features 15-foot drop protection, which is more than double that of the Sport case. It comes in black, ash green, which I'm going to show you guys, and also an ultra orange, which is very similar to the Apple Watch orange on the button on the Apple Watch. This case retails for $49.95, and let me go ahead and let's show you the black one really quickly. The black is just black on black, right? So there's not much to that. So that's pretty cut and dry. But then when we get to the ash green is actually what I have on my phone right now. So let's pull the phone out and let me show it to you. So here is the ash green color. If you ask me, I think it looks like gray. If you told me this was a gray case, I would just be like, okay, cool, that's a gray case. But it's called the ash green. I guess there is a slight greenish hue to it, but I don't know. I think it's gray. Either way, I think it looks really sharp, really nice. This back I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember exactly what this material is called on the back. It feels like glass though. It's very smooth. It has a very nice texture to it, and it does feature. It can get some fingerprints if your fingers are really oily and dirty, but it's not that bad. I mean, I've seen cases that are way worse, and obviously, a case like the Sport case, which is super high gloss, it's going to show your fingerprints a little bit easier than this one. But it has a really nice finish to it. This is definitely a bulkier, slightly heavier case, but it needs to be in order to protect your iPhone. So let's take some close-up looks at it. Starting on the side of the case, we have a nice large opening for the mute switch. You can easily get your finger in there, even if you have large fingers like myself. Volume up and down buttons are being protected and covered over. That's really nice. This side rails are really smooth. It has a really nice texture to them. It is TPU type of material, so basically like plastic. I kind of wish that they had something on here to make it a little less slippery, because if your hands are slightly wet or just, I don't know, there's times when I'm holding it and I feel like it might slip out of my hand. So I feel like if this was slightly ridged or had some type of texture here, that maybe it would feel like you have a better grip on it while it's in your hand. Not a big deal, but just something I did notice. Get to the bottom section right here on the ports, and we have the lightning port. Nice large opening for that. You should easily be able to get larger lightning cables that are a little bit bigger than the Apple ones to be able to fit into there. We have the opening for the microphone and the speaker. No problems there. And we also have the dual lanyard corners. So if you have a lanyard that you want to slip onto there, that way you can put it around your wrist or around your neck or whatever, you can attach a lanyard there, which is a really nice feature. That's something else that these cases also offers, is there's like a slight cutaway, if you notice right here on the front. It is kind of hard to show on camera, but it's basically, if you notice, these other corners are raised up a little bit, but then it dips down to make it nice and flat, so that way your finger can easily swipe to unlock and things like that when you have to touch the screen. So it's kind of a nice touch that they have right there. Get to the side, we have the sleep and wake button right there, also being protected and covered up, but you can still feel that click, and this actually has a nice grippy texture onto the side right there. We have the name Nomad upside down right there. Get to the back and we have the camera opening. And the camera opening does a really good job of protecting that camera, and it looks really sharp, really nice. And as you can see, it is raised up a little bit, so that way the cameras are more flush. I'm trying to get this in focus so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. But it is raised up to where it is protecting those cameras really well, making sure if you were to drop it straight on its back, that those cameras would not be touching the edge, because it's lifted up. And so like I said before, this back texture that it has on here, it's very nice. It feels very smooth. It's not really easy to see the fingerprints on there, so it's kind of resist those fingerprints, but it has a really nice texture. It legit just feels like glass. It's very nice, very high quality. I'm very impressed by the overall quality of this case. It looks very nice. As you can see, there's these edges right here, and these corners are a little bit extra raised up right there. So that way, if it's on its back, it's not completely flat on that piece right there. And the same thing with the front. If we go to the front, we can see that if you look on the edge right here, there's a lip on the edge of the case. So if you put the case face down on a surface, it is not directly on the glass of the iPhone. It is raised up. And this does also work with the MagSafe. So I got my MagSafe charger with my Nomad back piece on there. And that does charge straight through the case, just like all of the other cases there. So that is the rugged case. Really nice style case. Like I said, $49.95 is the price point for that. And let's check out the next case. Alright, the next case we're going to look at is the modern leather case. So this is our first leather case I'll be showing you. This case is available in two different variations for the leather. It's available in the Horween leather or the new leather that they offer. So these cases I have here are the new leather. And so the difference with the new leather is, besides being more affordable, so slightly lower in price, it's more eco-friendly, it has a smoother texture to it, and it's kind of intended to hold up a little bit better to wear and tear. And so when it comes to the price points on this one, the modern leather Horween is available in black and brown, and that's it, and that's $69. Or you can get these ones, the new leather, for $49, so $20 cheaper. And the new leather comes in black and brown as well, but also in this natural color or the tan color. I'm going to show you guys the tan one on my phone. But for this natural leather, it almost looks more like, it's like a really, really light tan. I wouldn't, maybe almost say peachy-ish color. I don't know. You guys can see it there. You can judge for yourself, but it's definitely a lighter color. But I have my phone in the tan one, so let's take a closer look at the tan case. Okay, here is the tan colored. It's basically like a light brown style case. Looks really sharp, really nice. So the back, like I said, is genuine leather, and then the side is like a TPU style material, plastic, basically a plastic bumper around the edge. And so this one also does work with the MagSafe, so it does secure to the back of through the case, which is really nice. All their cases are like that. So let's go ahead and take some close-up looks at the ports and buttons. So here we have the side here, we have a nice large opening for the mute switch. The buttons, up and down volume buttons, are being covered up, but they have these nice plastic buttons here which you can still feel the click through them. Nice smooth finish. You can see that TPU plastic siding right there. Get to the bottom right here for our lightning cable. Nice large opening, so all of your lightning cables should fit in there, no problem. Big openings for the microphone and the speaker. And we have dual lanyard hooks right there, so if you do have a lanyard you want to attach to it, you can do that on either side if you want to. We get to the back side over here. We have the sleep and wake button with a nice textured button cover right there, which you can still feel through the click, which is really nice to click through it. Get to the back, we have a nice large opening for the camera. We have a big lip, so it is raised up, so it is protecting those cameras that are sticking out the back of your phone. But like a really nice smooth texture and finish. So this leather will also patina and age over time and taking the oils from your hands. It will darken just a little bit. So it's not any different than the Horween leather the way it behaves. As far as like taking the oils and things from your hands, but having a nice patina. But it is meant to be a little bit more, what's the right way, to hold up a little bit better when it comes to like wear and tear, that type of thing. So that's what Nomad was telling me. Overall, I think it looks really nice. I still kind of prefer the Horween leather just because it feels like leather in your hands. And this it's very, very smooth. It's a different type of texture for this material. But it still looks very nice. And for 49 bucks, it's a pretty nice leather case either way. And it comes like available in all those different colors. So let's go ahead and show you the last case. And last but not least, we have the modern leather Folio case. So these are basically wallet style cases, and so this is the ones I have here available in the Horween and in the new leather. So when it comes to the Horween, and these are only available in black and brown. So the Horween version is going to cost you $79, and the new leather will be $59. So a $20 difference between the two of them. And like I said before, they are basically wallet style cases. I'm going to take the cases out and show you the difference in the quality of leather, just so you can see the difference between them. For some of you, you may not make a difference at all, and the $20 difference, you probably just want to save some money and get the cheaper version. But for some of you, you may actually like the Horween leather. So let's show you some close-up details of the grain, and so you guys can decide for yourself what you think you would prefer better. Alright, so here are the two cases. This is the Horween leather, this is the new leather. And so when you're just looking at them, you can't tell much of a difference. I feel like the bigger difference is by the texture in your hand. Like I feel like when I have these two cases, I can tell this is the Horween just because it feels more like genuine leather, which I don't want to sound negative about the new leather, but the new leather is so smooth, it almost feels a little like faux leather. Like it has just a really smooth texture to it. It almost feels like it has a coating on it. I'm not sure if it does or not, but I have been told that it is intended to hold up a little bit better than the Horween leather from scratches and wear and tear. So maybe there is something on it, but it just has a really smooth texture, maybe a little bit more so than the Horween leather. So I kind of still prefer the way the Horween leather feels, but from a distance you can't even really tell. Like I'm not sure if you guys can see a difference between the two of them. When you look really up close, you can kind of see more of the grain on the Horween, like the indentations and things like that. More so, the new leather just looks like a smooth, very uniform. But not a huge deal in my opinion between the two of them. And if it was me, I'm more cheap, so I would just go for the new leather just because I want to spend $20 less. So here's the wallet style case. Obviously we have a big flap that protects the screen of the phone and also offers you some slots in here. So we have 3 card slots. You can put 3 cards in there, driver's license, whatever you want to put in there. We also have a pouch right here, like a little area to put some cash or whatever you want to stick inside there. And this will protect and cover the screen as well. One thing that they do include with this is a magnetic clasp, removable magnetic clasp. And so the way this works is you basically slip it into the dollar pouch area, the money pouch. So when you pop it through there, you pull it through and it kind of holds it in place, and now it's a magnetic little clasp there, so that'll help keep the little door closed. I'm not sure if I would use this personally. I mean, I think for one thing, anytime you want to use the because this does feature the MagSafe charging, so if anytime you want to use the MagSafe charger, you'd have to move that little clasp out of the way to be able to get to it, right? But I think I probably wouldn't use that. But for those of you that are kind of nervous of it popping open by accident, you do have this little magnetic removable clasp that you can put on there to hold it in place. So that's kind of nice. Obviously, whenever you're using the case, you want to make sure that the flap is not completely all the way to the back, because that will be blocking the camera and you won't be able to use the camera. You'd have to have it open slightly to be able to take pictures with it. So let's do some close-up details around the case itself. So this case is basically exactly like the modern leather case I just showed you guys, but with this flap attached to it as well. So the openings, the buttons covered up, the ports, everything is exactly the same. We have the dual lanyards right there, lightning cable, port, speaker, microphone, the sleep wake button, All those things are very similar to the last case. Same thing with the back of it as well. So everything's very, very similar, but the difference is obviously we have this flap, this wallet flap. So we have some Nomad branding on the bottom there. We do have that slot so you can stick money, cash, you can put your cards in here, up to 3 cards. And if you don't want it, that magnetic flap, you can slide that through the port right here, pull it through the money slot, and you can take it off of there. And then that's pretty much it. So this will do a good job of protecting and covering up the screen of the phone in case you are worried about dropping it and maybe possibly messing up the screen. So it adds a little bit extra protection, and obviously allows you to carry some money and keep your wallet at home. So I think it's a really nice option. But for the price, it is a little bit pricier, so that's just one thing to contend with. But when it comes to like the leather quality, like I said, I'm more of a cheaper person, so I'd probably just stick with the new leather since it's $20 cheaper. But they both look really sharp and really nice. So those are my thoughts on these cases from Nomad. If you guys are interested in purchasing any of these cases that you saw in this video, I'll put a link down below in the description to make that really easy to find. If you want to check out some of my other reviews, I got 2 other clips over here you can click on. And if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, make sure you click on my face and don't forget to ring that bell to be notified of all my new reviews as they drop on my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video review.